Could you hear the Shaolin dub from Pied Piper? Oh, let's see. I think we got a super chat from Tom N. What's up, Tom? Tom says, "Hello, fellow sleuthers. I hope everyone is having a great holiday tweener. I am. Things are going great. I hope you guys are doing great. The reason I said that it's not going to be very, or that it might be boring, is I really don't have anything planned. You know what I mean? It can be like a freestyle. What's up, D? D says, "Hi, Tom. Thanks for the super chat." Yeah, Tom, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just read it right now. Yeah, that is very interesting. Ray Jones, what's up? What's going on, Jules? Happy holidays. Glitter, what you up to? Hope everything's going well. Mary Flynn, talk about the beautiful place you're at. Oh, yeah, Willow Springs. Well, when you live in the big city, sometimes you got to drive up to the mountain, get that fresh air. And that's what we did. Thank you, D. Yeah, hit that like button. Don't be a scrub. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? SP74, hello. Good to see you. Bird Blue, what's up? Yeah, definitely Happy New Year. We're right there. Man, what happened? 2022. That was a quick one, honestly. Oh, yeah, no scrubs. Yeah, if you're a scrub, just take a little walk around the corner over there. You know what I mean? What do you guys want to talk about today? The Unsolved sounds like you got something you want to talk about. What's on your mind, man? Thank you, Jules. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. It's like the easiest way to support a channel that you like. Thank you, D. Happy New Year. Yep, I'm ready for 2023. That's for damn sure. Shout out to Cold Truth. Yeah, what I mean? Hey, Miss Thang says Idaho is getting crazier. I've been listening to a couple of creators. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I tried to. I got attacked by a couple. Um, I think I just got to stay in my lane with it. I think I've been doing some very responsible coverage of that case. Because trust me, I got my own conspiracies and all that shit, but I keep that for members because they're just as crazy as I am. So if you're part of members and and you're like, oh my god, what's all this conspiracy shit? Like that's what you're asking for is the nonsense. Tom, thank you. Super chat. I think Idaho 4 has at least one person on the radar, but they need more data to arrest both persons. Kaylee had a stalker in her online store. My response to that is they have no suspects, they have nobody in mind, and it may be somebody more sophisticated than they could have ever imagined. In a college town like that, there's just so much going on. It's so much data to crunch. You know what I mean? You got to track down. It's one thing to track down, like, let's say 15, 20 interviews from people who may have been out and about. But think about it, you gotta re-interview those people multiple times to make sure that the information is correct. Because sometimes they may not know. You may have to cross-reference something, like, "Oh, shit, well, this conflicts with another interview I just had. Now I gotta go talk to this other person," and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, actually, you might be right. And actually, now that you bring it up, I have a photo of that. Look, here's proof." So now they're like, "Oh, well, shit, this conflicts with the other 2 interviews that I did." So they're constantly going back and forth, boom, 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 to get all the information correct. It's got to be nerve wracking, but it's definitely not happening like, overnight. That's for sure. The Unsolved says, remember, Doug Carter almost certainly wouldn't say we will continue to work on KK on the radio recently if he didn't think there was still a reason to. Um, yeah, I mean, I think he's very much connected. He provided some very, I think, some information that may have struck law enforcement as grandiose, I guess. They were like, we're going to need proof of this. And I think he provided that proof for sure. Yeah, I think when it comes to Idaho, Mary Flynn, who stated Idaho is all over the place, I think they're just overwhelmed. They have so much information. Um, People that were coming and going, people that were walking by in the background, captured on body cam, people at the food truck, people at the corner, the corner bar. What was it? Corner Hub? Um, Corner Club. I'm sorry. At the Corner Club, you got the Sigma Chi. All this information, you can't just like speculate. Law enforcement, they don't have that luxury. So they got to go and they got to interview all these individuals, everybody that was there that day, everybody who was at Sigma Chi, everybody who potentially could have been walking in the background, anybody that was moving about. And I bet you they haven't even gotten halfway through that yet. Well, maybe they're halfway through that. Maybe they've gotten through the interviews, but that doesn't mean that it's going to lead to anything. They think it's targeted because of the crime scene, from my understanding. Hey, what's up, Deb? Good to see you. Shenanigans and tomfoolery. I love those sayings. Yeah. We do get into some conspiracy theories. Um, but I mean, we try to stay responsible. It's not too outlandish, there's no like I guess I don't know, what's the word? Green men in our theories. There's no reptilians. There, that's the word I'm looking for. Tom with another super chat. Thank you so much. Very true. It could be a murder for hire that may never bring a true suspect. I don't even know if the motive is like murder for hire. This could be somebody. I don't know, man. Like, I'm very suspicious of a serial killer out there, especially with the Ladd case and the Jewetton case. It's very similar. And if there's a case in between, if you think about it, those cases happened, are 14 years apart. If you go 14 years and then 14 years, that goes right to Delphi. So I mean, who knows? To be honest, like my brain is so spread, and there's just something going on with the 13th. I mean, it is an occult day. I don't know. I just don't think it should be overlooked. That's all. But what do I know? Honestly, you shouldn't be listening to me. The Unsolved says, I find it hard to believe there aren't more cameras in the area of the Idaho murders. There has to be more there, and there got to be DNA left. I can't see how there isn't. Yeah, I mean, law enforcement will give you the layman's answer or the dummy answer. Well, of course there's DNA. There's DNA and evidence at every crime scene. But I think I know what you mean. From the suspect? Yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to Deb. She's holding it down over there. Thank you, Tom. Your last video where you broke down DC's statement on BG and voice being different was awesome. Oh, Tom, I got your emails, by the way. I've been going through them, and I wanted to. The email that I was going to send you back, since you're right here, was, did you find any connection? I mean, I was cross-referencing addresses and names and all this other shit, but I couldn't find any connection. Did you? The satanic panic. I don't know. I think when anything is satanic, I think you should panic. I mean, it's not motivation for anything good. Honestly. I mean, not to like judge people who are Satanists, but I mean, think about it. What does it really promote? Frank says, I need y'all who haven't already hit the thumbs up button. Go do that. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to Deb's channel. I see good things in her future with that channel. Hey, Vanessa. Glitterbean, thank you so much. Buy some sage for your ghost encounter. You know what? I don't have any sage. I don't really believe in all of that. That's the thing. I'm hoping that I'm in for like a rude awakening, you know? I always tell my wife, I'm like, you're my +1 into heaven. Because I'm not like a Bible thumper, but I'm definitely like a Jesus freak. You know what I mean? Like I buy into that. Like that's the wave that I'm riding. So to be honest, like I'm not afraid of anything. No, I take that back. I am afraid. But I think being afraid is okay, as long as it's calculated. I think fear kind of keeps you sharp. But when I say like I'm not afraid of anything, I'm not afraid of I guess death. But my daughter says, "Dad, you need to take sage. It will it will cleanse any room of negative energy and negative spirits. So, and she's really smart. So I guess I will. A rosary. Mm, I mean, I was baptized Catholic, but I don't know. If anything, these places are probably haunted by Catholics. No disrespect. Yeah, I'm not a fan of religion. I think you can have one without the other. Yes, Vanessa. Yeah, you got to have a healthy dose. You can't have overwhelming fear. Yes. It's that fear and the ability to still act, you know? And Jesus freak. Yeah. Like I definitely am like a Jesus freak, but I'm not like a Bible thumper or super religious, but I'm like a one of those personal relationship type people. Like I make fun of my wife all the time like you're just a heathen, but it's okay cuz you're married to me. You're my plus one. you know. It's like the husband's like the head of the household, It's like don't worry about it. Like I got you. I have our invitations, don't worry. They're in my jacket pocket. You're good. Yeah, glitter, it can't hurt. And what do I know, honestly, I'm just sharing you like what I believe, like what my opinion is. I'm like a simplest type person. Yeah, that's right. Melissa says, I love Jesus too. When you have him in your heart, you're not afraid of death. But of course, we should always be diligent and be on alert with the crazies out in the world. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, power of prayer for sure. And really, it's like positive energy. You want to get on that vibration, that wavelength. Unsolved says, only once in my life did I see something I thought was weird, supernatural. People flocked to a cemetery where a guy claimed he was cured of blindness. People were taking photos of the sun. Hmm. Yeah, I used to have a story I told me and my sister of a supernatural event, but now that I look back on it, I don't even know if it's true or not. So I'm definitely a skeptic, if that means anything. Like I'm not going on this ghost hunt here in a day or two, expecting to see anything. So if you see anything like creepy on screen, like it'll be legit. So we might turn into like the real Ghostbusters. You remember that scene where they went to the library? So I'm definitely open to something like that. And not expecting it, but I'm open to it. Hey Jen, CJK, good to see you guys. Sorry if you came here expecting like a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I have like folders and information. So if you guys want to talk about anything, let me know. I'm just hanging out. I had an hour to kill. Hey, Copper. Good evening. Yeah, Ghostbusters is the best. You remember the scene I'm talking about at the beginning where they go into the library and she looks all peaceful and she kind of looks over at him and she's like, shh. And then they like creep up on her and they're like, get her. Who you gonna call? Sleuth Buster. Teeny, teeny. Might be onto something, Jules. Nah, but I mean, honestly, like this is supposed to be like one of the most haunted places in the world. And not only is it the most haunted place in the world, it's supposed to be like the most haunted room. So we're gonna find out. Like I looked up 100 videos on it, and they all heard something. You know what I mean? So we're kind of going in there more to debunk it, really. So it should be interesting. Jerome Grand Hotel, room 32. Dun dun dun. Yeah, orbs. Like what's orbs? Shouldn't you see orbs in like a lot of pictures? I feel like you should see orbs. I feel like that's a normal thing. But I'm gonna take a shit ton of photos. Like I'm gonna take a tour live through the hallways and like around the whole place, and I'm gonna take as many photos as I can. And then we're gonna go back to room 32, and we're gonna do like one of those EVP sessions with my studio mic and my sound card, and we're gonna turn up the sensitivity way up, and then we're gonna look at all those pictures. And then we're going to have a debate about these orbs because I've been taking photos like just around the house, kind of testing it out, and I've seen some orbs. Like to me, that just seems like a light reflection. I think we need more than an orb. We're going to need more. We're going to need like a straight like ghost to walk up and be like, just like the library scene in Ghostbusters. If we don't see that shit, we're not playing, we're not playing around. Yeah, me too, D. Yeah, me and my wife are just doing a bunch of stuff. We have all this vacation time right now. Yeah, it's kind of scary, Deb. Like there's part of me that's like afraid because I'm open-minded and, I'm very intuitive. And then there's another side of me that's very scientific and would like, if it's real and it's a physical thing, then you should be able to calculate it and measure it. But first you have to understand something to measure it, right? Orbs. Yeah, I need something. Okay, let's say you caught an orb and then you took a bunch of consecutive images and then the orb was getting bigger and like morphing and doing all this weird shit. But sometimes you're just catching like a weird reflection. Yeah, maybe I need to do video. Well, I'm going to take video glitter. I'm going to have video on a GoPro. I might put that on like I'm geeking out on this shit, guys. So don't laugh at me. Don't make fun of me. I'm doing this for science. I'm going Bill Murray on this shit, okay? So I'm going to do the whole GoPro on the head, the tape recorder, um, taking a shit ton of digital video, and then we're gonna be filming live too. But I'm taking all this video footage maybe for later, do some editing. If I see anything yet, well, maybe we'll make like a follow up video. Sweet says, my friend lives near an old Revolutionary War battle site, and there's a glow in the woods occasionally that looks like lantern light. See, now imagine if somebody could completely document like some ghostly figure holding like a light. Like, it's amazing to talk about it. Like, it sounds amazing, it's made for Hollywood, TV or whatever. Now let's see it for real. You got a baste. What are you doing? Tanning on the roof with one of those like reflector things? What's up, Eric McDowell? Good to see you. Happy New Year. I stay away from all that as far as possible. Yeah, I feel like even like just messing with it, like there's been like some weird stuff happening around the house. But I think that's just like me noticing just random shit that's just really just normal. What? Sleuth, take some fishing line and a pie pan as a back. I don't know what that means. Orbs, dust. Yeah, could be dust. Shit floating in the air. Charlie Murphy says, I've caught EVPs on recorder many times. Well, Charlie, look, I've been trying to catch them around the house, just kind of fucking around, trying to make sure like I know what I'm doing. When the shit goes down. When the shit goes down, you better be ready. When the shit goes down. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to prep. But I ain't heard no EVPs. Well, honestly, I heard like a creepy one the other day, but I realized that it was just an echo from downstairs. But look, we're going to be in the most haunted hotel in the most haunted room. If I can't hear an EVP in there, and it better be clear as day, and we ain't, I'm not cheating. What's the point of cheating? So if we hear anything fucking spooky, it's gonna be legit. Copper Horse says, I was up in Jerome about 40 years ago to the old mining town. Yeah, it's an old mining town. There was a bar and a library set up with life-size mannequin dressed in old West clothes. Well, now it's like a very touristy place. You know what I mean? It was a mining town and then they kind of reinvented it. But it has real history. But we're going to find out if it's haunted. And what does haunted mean? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that? It is going to be very cool because I'm going in as a skeptic, but I'm also open-minded. We're not expecting anything. But we're going to take a shit ton of footage like when we get there. You guys ain't going to see any of that until after the fact. I'm going to do like a follow-up video. We're going to get there pretty early in the day. We have some food, do a little tour. And then when it gets late, nice and dark and spooky out, and then we're going to go live and turn out all the lights. So if anything, I'm going to scare the shit out of myself. Oh, man. Unsolved says, was at a hotel in Georgia one night, saw something walking across the TV stand, freaked out. Turns out it was a hermit crab that hitched a ride with a kid from Florida. Just walking across close to the light. It's like, oh my God, it's a giant tarantula. Oh, it's a hermit crab over there by the light. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be what, like a 2-hour stream, maybe 2.5, maybe 3. Like, I mean, come on. If we don't see anything, like, we might have to call bullshit on that. You know what I'm saying? What's up, bud? Fishing line and pie pan equals UFO. I don't know what that means. Fishing line, I got that. A pie pan? What the fuck is a pie pan? Pie pan. Oh, a pie pan. You like, oh, I see what you're saying. Dangling. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Fishing line and pie pan, hangling the fucking pie pan from fishing line. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. I'm special. Devoted says, I can't believe Richard placed himself at the bridge at the time of the crime in the same clothes. It's preposterous. The tips got lost if it did. I don't know. The tip could have been purposely misplaced. Most criminals tell half truths. Maybe he knew that people saw him there, and it all seemed like he was witnessed prior to the crime. So it's like they witnessed him, and then maybe he went back there by the south end of the bridge, and maybe he was like doing meth or some shit. Just kind of was not the same person as he was when they witnessed him. And then he saw the girls, and he went batshit crazy. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying he was fully aware that he was witnessed. So he's going to tell the half truth, right? Like, yeah, I was there. Because if nobody saw him there, he would never, ever have admitted that. Or unless well, I'm really not sure about the shell casing yet. I mean, how the fuck does he plan to explain that? I mean, you're at the bridge and then you left a shell casing in between two deceased people and you're like the prime suspect. Like, how do you explain that? The only explanation is that you were set up or somebody else had your gun or one of your unspent casings. And I guess another question would be, how'd they get it? Oh, nobody there, just the mannequins. Yeah, that's fucking weird. Now it's like a little tourist town. A ghost lady. What? Cecil Hotel. That sounds familiar. Alexandra Cox, right? What's up? Oh, Alexandra Cox. Oh, sorry. Welcome. Sorry about that. Oxy says, I have a picture of an orb that looks like a ball of fire. That reminds me of a song by Israel Vibrations. It's a good reggae band. It's called Ball of Fire. It's a little tidbit. Sweet Joel says, something tells me you will be a believer on December 30th. Honestly, like, I'm open to it. Like, I was scared to do it. My wife is scared. But I kind of like being scared. It's fun. Charlie says, be careful with this stuff. Yeah, we're not doing like Ouija boards and shit like that, or spirit boxes, or none of that weird stuff. Like you said, you can open doors and attract things to you that might allow you home, follow you home. I stopped with it completely around 2000. Definitely pray. What are you talking about, bro? What you talking about? What did it look like? Stay away from all the haunted place. It's too late now. We're gonna sleep in the most haunted place ever. It's fucking poltergeist up in that bitch. Apparently. We'll see. I ain't tripping. It's just a tourist. It's like a tourist town, it's for fun. If it's haunted, we'll find out. There ain't gonna be none of that bullshit going on. Like we better see Slimer. If I don't see Slimer, Ham, rum ham. Miss Thang says, when my daughter was little, orbs were always in pictures of her. No one else. Then we had things happening in her room all posted in Discord sometime. Yeah, orbs better not be real because I was fucking around testing my camera and there was a couple photos that had some orbs in it. I was like, what the fuck? See, here's some of that bullshit right here. Some of that orb bullshit. Then it was like moving across. I was like, oh shit. It's fucking Kane from Poltergeist. He's in my room. They moved the headstones, but they didn't move the bodies. Oh yeah, that Gaines. What's in a name? What's up? Gainesville killer chopping off head and putting it on a bookshelf facing the victim's body always creeped me out. Yeah, the Gainesville shit. Oh man. Yeah, honestly, that everybody has their limits, and the Gainesville stuff is fucked up, especially with the Idaho murders happening so recently. It's pretty scary. And we all know when it comes to that Scream movie, there's been copycats before. Do you guys remember the mean teens that perpetrated Scream like attack on a female friend? They like hid in her house and shit. Dude, that was really terrifying. That's why you can't leave your young women, like your young daughters and young family members, home alone. You just can't do it. You can't risk it. I'm sorry, guys. You just can't. There's too many sadistic people out there. See, we're getting into the orbs. See, and we're going to get into that debate. That's what I want to debate. We're going to show all these images. And if I see any damn orbs, it better have a damn Slimer face on it. Danny Rowland seemed to be possessed with the stuff he did in Gainesville. Yeah, a lot of these serial killers, they almost talk about like an uncontrollable force or something growing within them. So I think a lot of these really scary killers that we know, the names that haunt us, Ted Bundy, stuff like that. I think a lot of that, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's like a spiritual battle, you know? And unfortunately, it seems like they lost that battle or they were being used. I mean, how else do you explain evil, like true evil? Like Richard Ramirez? That dude would walk right into somebody's house and just kill everybody in there. How do you explain that? And he would explain it to you. He says it's pure evil. But then he would kind of call us all evil too. He's like, "You're evil too." Joni Sullivan says mental illness. Yeah, I think that plays a large part. But I think there's also a lot that we don't know. I mean, how much of it is demonic? How much of science is really spirituality? How much of this are we just so twisted and ignorant about? Eric McDowell says Ramirez is the scariest killer in my opinion. He'd kill anybody. Yeah, he was terrifying. And he was one of those People that would creep in the night. Totally feeding off of dark energy. Yeah, he's a scary one for sure. He would kill elderly women. I think he raped a man. I think he raped a man one time. Yeah, this worst of the worst. Well, guys, we got about 15 minutes left. What do you guys want to chat about? Devoted to Mariah says Ted Bundy is still the scariest to me. Yeah, he's pretty scary too. Sexual sadist and truly clinical psychopath. Yeah, and the things about Ted Bundy is he could put on the mask. You know, he could literally walk among you. He inspired a lot. Him and the Green River Killer pretty much were the inspiration for the Silence of the Lambs movie. The Green River Killer was Buffalo Bill, and Hannibal Lecter was Ted Bundy. You know, because he was in law school, and he was this kind of serial killer who was able to escape. You know, he actually escaped multiple times. Like, he was a really terrifying guy, really smart. But the Green River Killer, he was smart in a different way, as far as being able to get away with his crimes. Gary Ridgway was his name. But he grew up very similar to Ted Bundy. They had a lot in common, and I think Ted Bundy even came forward to the FBI and kind of helped with their profile and gave them some insight into how he might be hiding in plain sight, kind of the way that Ted Bundy was. And Ted Bundy's never really going to come out and admit like the real monster he is. Like, that's the fairy tale that he wants us to know. Like, the truth is he was just a brutal monster. John Wayne Gacy. Isn't he the one that was kind of offended by being compared to Jeffrey Dahmer? Did you guys ever see those interviews where he was kind of offended by that? Like, what the fuck? Like, he was calling Jeffrey Dahmer like a true psychopath. Like, what the fuck, dude? You had bodies like piling up under your crawl space, under your floorboards that were like melting together. Yep, that's true, Jari. He was interviewed. He even passed a polygraph. Good point. Yeah, Richard Ramirez just looked evil. He had the look. Yeah, John Wayne Gacy. He was a clown. He was a clown. I think he was the whole reason why clowns are now scary. Bind, torture, kill. Dennis Rader and Ramirez. Yeah, Dennis Rader was a whole different kind of scary. But the strange thing about Dennis Rader was a lot of his victims were connected to him through like work. So he had like a weird connection to them. In a way, they kind of were targeted if you think about it. Gacy? Yeah, he showed no remorse ever. Charlie Cullen. Oh, wow. That's insane. Creeps me out to think I was alone with him on the night shift outside the ER. Yeah. Damn, Copper. That's an interesting story. Oh, yeah, I am now. Charles Cullen, for sure. Yeah, Frank, I don't know a lot about this Herb Baumeister guy, but he seems super creepy. David Parker Ray. Who's that? Hey, Sylvia. Good to see you. Sorry we missed you. Yeah, this is definitely the tail end here. We only had about an hour. ASMR. Good to see you. Yeah, I got that glitter bean. I have a little bit of knowledge on them. Um, and I had that information. I just haven't been able to kind of go any further than that. But it's just like so much information that I have. It's kind of hard to pick and choose what I follow up on. It kind of has to stand out to me, you know. And although I those did kind of stand out to me, other things stood out a little further. Thank you, D. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Toy box killer. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in a follow up on that Unsolved. Yeah, make sure you guys sub to True Crime with Marvin Frank. Definitely a friend of the channel. And The Unsolved. Yeah, Melissa, I'm going to take a look at that one. Thank you, D. All right, guys, we're at the 5 minute warning. Jeez, that's so scary. Yeah, most of these predators do prey on the unfortunate. That's why I always suspected some kind of connection with Jordan Sofer and Liberty German. They were both adopted, and a lot of these predators, that's all they need to hear. And John Douglas said, well, perpetrator said guys, almost like a teacher or somebody in a leadership role. So I'm wondering if somebody like that may have played a part and was the other person who accompanied Richard Allen. Thank you, Eric. I love the channel. Keep it up. I appreciate that support. I really do. Thanks, Eric. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Yeah, I can't wait, Vanessa. I've been like getting all my gear together. I'm gonna bring all my shit to that hotel room. They invite that, like I guess ghost hunters are there all the time. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna do it sleuth style. But yeah, we're definitely coming from a skeptical perspective. Hey, Bogey. Sound times distance times barrier equals quiet. 2 people sleeping while 4 people were murdered. I wish we knew more about the crime flow. I mean, there's a possibility maybe one person in a bedroom was killed, and the person that was sleeping next to them was still sleeping, and then later on they were murdered. Maybe eventually they woke up. Like we just don't know. Um, Snoopsy, hello. Says workers of the night tend to be involved on both sides of the coin. Well, workers of the night, a lot of times these killers, they find not only are they easy targets, they'll get into your car and they'll kind of slip away with you into the night. So not only will they get into your car and you don't have to literally abduct them, they literally will sit in your vehicle most of the time. But typically, quote unquote, workers of the night, come from broken homes, troubled life, maybe drug addiction. It's a troubled story. Nobody says, "Hey, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be a prostitute." I just don't think that happens very often. So anybody that's in that line of work, um, I know Gary Ridgway. He said, "Oh, prostitution, blah, quote unquote, is, um, I guess, a burden on the world." And he's like, "I was handling it. You guys wouldn't do it, so I did it. You guys didn't have the courage to take care of the issue, so I went and took care of it." So he convinced himself that he was like ridding the world of this nuisance. Um, I mean, which is very strange in itself. So he was able to convince himself, of what he was doing was righteous in some way. You're welcome. Thank you, Alexandra Cox, for hanging out. You got it, Jules. Thanks for being so cool. Cheeks, what's up? I have a theory about the Idaho murders that makes complete sense to me about the flow of the crime. All right. I'm listening. Thank you, Unsolved. I'll definitely take a peek. 4 college students are not feeble. The killer really took quite a risk in Idaho. Well, when you're completely enraged, you're not taking a risk. Anybody in your way will perish. anybody that stands in my way will suffer the wrath, you know? Or you're a more sophisticated killer who wants to make things appear that way, but you potentially could have been just waiting there the entire night, you know? Um, but if these young kids are anything like me when I was that age, I would get shit faced drunk and sleep like a fucking baby. So I don't know, maybe somebody took advantage of that, or it just happened to be the case that night while somebody was taking revenge. Everybody was out partying, you know. If you drink 10 beers or you take a bunch of shots of alcohol and you're like, I'm ready for bed, you know, and you eat a bunch of food and you pass out, you're not going to wake up by any little noise or somebody like shimmying your door open. It's just not going to happen. And from the evidence that we know, and this isn't victim shaming, we know that they were out drinking. It's typical behavior for a college student. Yeah, sure. Maybe we can at some point. All right, guys, we're gonna start shutting her down. I'll say maybe 5 minutes, or however long this song is. Fled. Oh God, don't get me started again. I don't know. I don't see the motivation, Heather. This is either like a super crime of passion, somebody's really motivated and angry. They don't care who's in front of them. Or this is somebody who is making a statement and they're killing violently for other reasons, like a serial killer. Thank you, Sylvia. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. I should be going live tomorrow. Not quite sure what I want to discuss. I've been looking a lot at the Evansdale case, of course, Jordan Sofer. Idaho has a lot of attention. Maybe we'll just hang out and talk a little bit about Delphi as well. But we'll see. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.